Alright, so I've just come home from the gym, and this time I trained push. So I had two two exercises chest, two exercises shoulders, and two exercises triceps. And then I walked half an hour on the treadmill with full incline. So 50% incline at probably 4.5 kilometers in speed. And supposedly this should be the best thing to do cardio. Like, it should be the ultimate fat burner, better than sprinting or running, better than cycling, better than walking, better than, I guess so as well, Stairmaster. It's my local gym expert who told me that, and like I'm just following his advice blindly, because like he's got a much better physique than mine, and if I can like learn some tricks here and there, I will do so, because it will just save me a lot of time from me doing all this research myself. So I'm really grateful for that. So yeah, and then I decided, because I really want to calm down and just be grateful for the nature we have here in Denmark. So I decided to take a bit of another route home. So it took a bit longer, but there's lots of more nature, and I saw probably 5 deers, like 1 or 2 which I came really close to, and like it's just those moments like I feel so grateful for. And if I didn't get my hunting license or got into hunting, like I would never stop up and appreciate all this nature that we just have right in front of us. And like I'm really grateful for that. So like I saw 2 deers, 2 radius, or I don't know what's it called in English, but 2 deers, 2 females who was actually like playing with each other. They were bumping their head into each other and just springing around, jumping around, and I could get really close to them. So it's so fascinating, and that's why I always have a like a sight. What is it called, a sight? Like let me just Google it. I need to. Binoculars. This is what I mean. Sorry for the English. And I could get really like look at them really up close and see how they were playing. It was so fun. And if I hadn't had my hunting license or got into hunting, I would never spot them, because I'm always looking more on the side of the roads than on the road. And like this is really something. Like, this is the small moments that I really enjoy, and most people take for granted when they just work on a business and have one thing they can do. But now like I have another passion as well, and it's great that I can separate my hobby with my work and combine them as well. Like I wouldn't like be completely against like filming me going out to hunt, because like I've gotten the license, I can go out hunt, and that's really some content that I enjoy watching. So you might like one time see me do a hunting vlog here and there. I guess that would be fun as well, and that will be attracting the kind of people I want to serve and help in my business as well. So a lot of fun things, like the people who enjoy all the small things instead of just being this marketing bro who wants to make a quick bank, and that's not me. So hopefully that will also attract some other people. Now, enough yapping for me on this trip, even though I can't stop speaking about it, because like I just love it so much. Like also on the trip we were on to Germany, like I was only looking at the nature because like this was just hunting mecca, or just nature life mecca, all these things. So grateful for that. That's really things that I enjoy in life. All these small things that I could just, when I can just pause my work and just have all this great dopamine instead of scrolling on my phone, which really means nothing to me. Now I want to show you guys how I basically script out a VSL or do all the research and preparation. So I have this sheet right here. Hopefully you guys can see. So it's called research and preparation. Then firstly, I found the problem and desire. So this desire, basically what they're telling themselves. So in this case, this is for people who feel like they're stuck in life and they can't pursue the passion even though they're making money, but they feel hopeless and like their life is pointless because they are just, even though they're making good money, they're still living a miserable life without passion and without fulfillment. So that's their desire, that they want a morning where the light is shining and they have energy and a purpose, and yeah, they're just like having the great life that people dream of. And then I find the external problem, like the problem that other people can see. Then I find and that's like they don't have any happiness in their day-to-day life, and they're pressing snooze when the alarm goes off, and like they just hate life, and people can see that. And then they have an internal problem, like how does this make them feel inside? And then we have the philosophical problem. So which conflicts does this create inside of them? Like what's the conflict these two problems create with the desire? So like they're feeling they're going against what they really stand for, but they can't break it because they are just like pushing everything out and saying mañana, mañana. That's basically the philosophical problem. So that's what's causing all this. Well, that's almost the bridge to where we can solve this problem. Like we are solving this conflict. Then we have the real desire, and that's when we say this, that's when it like hits a grand slam, just a home run right there. And they feel like we are just reading their minds and like we are knowing them better than themselves. And then we come to our duality, and I will make a video going much more in depth in dualities and why this is important in your VSLs. So in this is what we call the top of the mountain, and it's called, like I've just called this or labeled this as living on their own premises, or like creating their own decision, creating their own life. And again, this is really to create two points or two states where we can just bridge the gap, the worst possible state and the best possible state, and then we just create a bridge in the gap, like create a bridge in the gap right here. And that's basically how you sell. Like the bigger the gap you create, the better the bridge, the more you can sell. And basically what duality does is that you don't want to force people. Like people don't want to take action when they're being forced. You're just setting up these two states, and then people will connect these two things together, and then they will take action by their own, like thinking that it was their own idea to take action or respond. So that's really a cool hack. And then I label them. So this is again called living on your own premises. So whenever I've gone over everything in this, and then I have labeled this as living on your own premises, then so whenever in another video or an ad or stuff like that I say living on your own premises, all these emotions will just pop up in their heads again, and we will get a emotional reaction instead of this meaning nothing. So we're just compressing all this into this matter. And that's the same we do for the rock bottom. This is just the worst possible scenario. And this is I've called this a shadow of yourself. And again, we're just finding out what the consequences of such problem, the negative feelings creating, action the avatar has to take, which they didn't want to. So there's a lot of things. And then we have the common enemy. And in this is like a bit more fickle. Like in this, like people, when you have a common enemy, like people will go on your side and sort of all of a sudden you'll just become friends, because that's the best way to get people to your side, to have a common enemy. That's just how human psychology works. And in this particular one, it's about like you are a shadow of yourself. Like you really want things, but you're scared of what people think, even though they don't think anything. It's just in your mind. So that's the thing that's causing everything that I will be sharing with people. And then we have the one belief. So what is this everything about? So basically the one belief goes like this: if I can get target audience to believe that this new opportunity is the key to their desires and is only attainable through my unique mechanism, then everything else will become irrelevant. So this is basically your goal to get them to believe this, and then everything else will become irrelevant and they will just listen to you. So then you have to think like an attorney: how can I get people to believe this? And that's what we do in our chain of beliefs, like reverse engineering this, because this is belief we want to give them and make them have. Then we just have to like take steps back to the belief they have right now. So this is basically just the data we've plotted in. So I can just read this in English. If I can get people to believe that being stuck and unhappy with their lives, and make them believe that the key to getting real passion and freedom is to change the mindset and take the steps up till like the top of the building, then and it will happen from my step-by-step method to it's a bit fucked, but to break the mental barriers and regather with their true drive force, then everything will become irrelevant. So maybe this should be a bit more like you really want to find your target audience and really know who you're talking to. Then you want to find a new opportunity. People have done all these things before, but what are your new category that you're pulling people into? So, and then you have to make them believe that that is the key to their desires. So what does this audience want? It could be moving towards pleasure or moving away from fear. And then we have to create a new mechanism, like the thing that we will help them solve their problem with. So this is more the category, and this is the specific thing. So the thing that we use, and for example, in my case, it would be message alchemy. Or maybe I could pull it up. One sec. New opportunity. So in my case, it is if I can get people who are stuck between unsustainable 20 to 50K per month to believe that message alchemy is the key to becoming the unquestionable authority in their niche and making their competitors irrelevant. So that's message alchemy is my new opportunity, and being the unquestionable authority is the desire, but it's only attainable through unlocking your client's true alter ego and packing your message in a binge-worthy and impossible way to ignore. So this is basically my unique mechanism. So there's two different things, and when you understand these two things, like you will really just unlock your copywriting skills. And then we have the big idea. So my client said he wanted like an analogy about how most people are living in level 1, and that's 85%. So he used the analogy about a house. So they are living in the basement. They don't have any, like they can't see out any windows or stuff like that. You're just living a normal, boring life. And then we have the, what's it called? First floor, or the ground base floor. And that's where 14% is living. They're just living a midlife, but can't really see the blue ocean sky or the blue sky or anything like that. So they're just passing by. And then we have the people, the 1% who are living in a penthouse, at level 3, and they have all the things that they want, and they living with passion and really enjoying their life. So that's really what we want people to. It's almost a kind of like bridge. So that's how we get people to understand this, to put an analogy and make people visualize it through, like as described here, like the air is dense and the like view is like looking at a concrete wall. So that's not so, what's it called? So great, like I wouldn't live there personally. And then we have our offer. This will just lead into the main video that talks about paradigms. So that's about it. Nothing much there, but if it was a real VSL, we will have like bonuses, we will have the pillars of the offer, we will have fast action guarantees and all these things that make a great offer. And then we have the change of belief, or the chain of beliefs. So what does people need to know in order to buy from you? So what do they need to know about themselves? What do they need to know about the company or us that's selling this product? What do they need to know about the product? And what do they need to know about other solutions? So here's a bunch of things there that we can talk into to create this belief that we are the only solution for the problem. And again, like this is what separates most copywriters, like doing so nitty-gritty research that all your other competitors will just be left behind because they don't have any structure about what they're going to talk about and what's their niche, like problems and desires, and how we can create duality. That's really, like, most people don't think of it. They just like pull shitty copy out there as like using big bulky claims, and yeah, it's just a mess. It's just a real mess. They don't have a structure. And now I have all my preparation, and then I have made just a outline or the skeleton of the script that I will continue reading on tomorrow, or writing on tomorrow. And then I have a title. So are you feeling stuck in life? Here's your tickets to living on your own premises. And here's under 5% of the population is living a life they don't truly love. Here's how it's living a it's living a life they truly want or love. Here's how you can do the same. And then we have the lead, the body, and the offer. So the lead is like setting the scene and really, it's basically the hook. And then we have the body, and as the same, it's the hook, story, offer. Basically, so in the body, here's where you will plant all the seeds to change people's beliefs. And then we have the offer, and that's basically the call to action and the next steps, and really also a summary of everything that you've just discussed, and then you add a bit of urgency as well to make people act now. And as you can see here, then we have in the lead, I want it to begin in the middle of a scene, so basically describing the basement, the base floor or the mid floor, and then the penthouse. So I want people to really, I want to describe these things as good as possible, and then I want to connect the dots. Like I'm talking about, I'm not a real estate agent, but there's something deeper behind these three descriptions. They are representing three different stages of life in our everyday lives as humans. And then I'm just following a common, copy structure, problem, agitation, solution. And here's where I'm just combining these three levels. I've just set the scene in the lead, and then I'm combining, like giving these three basements or these three things that I've just described a meaning about, like it's about the levels, and then I'm twisting the knives and really using the duality of the top of the mountain and rock bottom. And then at the end, I'm creating an open loop. Like if you want the solution, then you have to see my other video, but I'm doing in a tasteful way. Like most people, they're doing it in such a weird way, but we have to do it in a good way and a funny way that people like want to watch, just like a soap opera or something like that. A series where people can't wait to watch the next thing, just like in Breaking Bad, for example. That's a good example. Like people, or the series is always ending with a cliffhanger that gets you to watch the next episode, and then you're in the middle of something, and then you've just like end up binge watching everything. So that's basically what I've been up to today, and I've been walking, I've been reading a lot. So I in overall, I would say this is or was a very productive day, and by me going through this exercise, by doing preparation and research and creating the skeleton for this YouTube video or YouTube flywheel video, it's making me like sharper again and again. If I don't do these things and find out how I can do these things better and really perfect them, like I'll just be stuck and I can't really share my skills as an expert. And that's why I always keep this book in handy, and I will always do. I'll always come back to these things and try to improve every single bit. Like I've already created my origin story, my parables and my character flaws, but I will continue to improve on these things. Like I see most entrepreneurs, they think they've read a book and then they know everything about it and they don't have to read it again. But me, even though I only have 20 books, like I will continuously come back to them and try to implement every single thing and create it or make it a habit. So yeah, and that's really what I need for, like, I just realized I pressed stop recording. But what I was saying is that I will be using this book, The Art of Persuasion, as well. It talks really much in depth in like how to speak to status and ego with people. So I'll be using this for like alter ego selling and all the things. So I'll just go back to this big pile of books and like see how I can pull every bit of information and try to implement it in my frameworks and stuff like that. And now I've in my offer, I've like created every single step for people to go from zero to experienced, and now I just have to create frameworks around them. So really exciting stuff. And another thing I'm excited about is to start reading this. Right now I'm still doing .com secrets and the fifth law, but this will be a freaking banger. And like that's when I read this, like it's after I've gained traction with my offer and doing all these things, creating my framework, and then creating my present in here, like telling stories will be a must, and I will learn so many things from this about copy, stories, and everything in between, and I'm so freaking excited. I know most people won't be excited to read a book, but guess I'm or I guess I'm different than most people, and that's a good thing, because like most or like normal people get normal results, and what's it called, different people get different results, or like extraordinary results, or yeah, whatever you want to call it. So this was a bit of ramble and all the ideas for tonight, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.